You're coming too.
What started as a dream is now our reality. 6 years ago, we poured her ballast, raised every frame, cut every plank, and named her Red Aviva. Ready for life back on the ocean, this year we're determined to set sail.
Would you look at that? I'd say that's the making of a fine cruising vessel.
We're Salt and Tar, and this is our life. We're happy to share, and thanks for joining us. Inspired by lighthouses of distant shores, I paint the deck beams above our bunk. While I still have the red out, might as well splash some on the galley doors. Last week I epoxy puttied the dinette wall, so I've got to sand it before I can keep painting. It's also time to paint this half bulkhead. I think I'm gonna wrap it up for the day. Been painting all day and had some followers stop by too. So in between doing all that, I think it was a pretty well-rounded day. This backrest on both sides will have a cushion. So I'm gonna see how it looks tomorrow, whether or not I need another coat. I think there's like 3 coats on there right now. And it looks pretty good, but the light's getting a little bit twilight, so it's easier to see this side but harder to see the other side. But then the other thing that I got done is up here, all this. But Garrett's telling me he wants to route all of this, but because we're still going to be putting in storage up here, like for our clothes, like sort of these high cubby cabinets, and we haven't totally decided on the design of that, so we're not going to route it because we'll want it square for installing the face and the bottom, and however we decide to do that. So all the red up here is just one coat because I'm going to have to route out the corners anyway when we have at least the positioning of those cubbies figured out, and then I'll just do a second coat all at the same time because it's pretty well covering. This chalk paint is pretty nice. The plywood soaks up like crazy, so it usually needs a couple coats, especially the rougher plywood. But like all this plywood is super nice, so I think I just did 2 coats of that white just so it's more even toned. And then I got the drawers painted. So, and this is just 1 coat too, but they're dry now. Yep. So let's put them back on. Go. Yeah, I like the red. Garrett also suggested to me that I could paint a mural on it if I wanted to, which I might still do. So I'll keep thinking about some ideas. It's been forever since I've actually like painted like creatively, not just for function. And this yellow, I have a little bit of it left, but I'm gonna wait till Garrett finishes the floor because it's all nasty. Little bit by little bit, things are more complete. And that's also kind of why I'm not really bothering to do a second coat on the doors yet. I wanted to first see how I liked the color, and then also if it gets dirty, then you know I'll have to paint it anyway. Cool. All right. Good night. See you tomorrow. Garrett's been continuing work on our knife wall. Making the framework for the door. And then moving on to the decorative face for the drawer underneath the stove.
So I've been working on this whole area lately and finally getting it dialed in. Got this kind of face piece rough cut that'll hinge open, and then this will be the knife rack that pulls out all our knives, and stuff like that will be mounted on this face.
It looks so cool.
Yeah. Those close up. Yeah, it's starting to look cool.
Yeah.
Your purple is over there. It's
Yeah.
bright and happy.
And then remember, the table's still gonna be here, so you're really not gonna see like this much purple, but it's gonna be a fun little splash of color kind of behind there.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the inside, I'm just gonna do the same almond that we have on the walls. And I'm starting to get these back panels painted. I'm just doing the blue that I got for the main bulkhead. Oh, thanks. Yeah, so there's just one coat. But I got this blue for the main bulkhead and didn't end up liking it because I wanted more of like a greenish color. But this will be kind of nice because it's gonna be dark back there, and we might end up putting, you know, some sort of little, I don't know, shelving or dresser kind of storage there because the bunk is what, 8 feet?
Yeah, so 8 feet total, which obviously we don't need all of for a bunk, so might end up doing something back there. We'll see.
Yeah, pretty typical day. Painting and building
random stuff.
Working with Cherry and painting has seemed like pretty much all that we've done this entire year.
And
Paint.
a little black locust.
A little, yeah, you're right. You're right. All right, working on the second part.
Mm-hmm. I'm just deciding right now how much of a kind of overhang up here I want to leave. It'll kind of like to be a stop for things. That'd be actually a perfect place for cutting boards. Like an extra big cutting board.
Mm-hmm. Finish making our pattern and then head over to the bunker and see what wood we've got here. I don't really think we have any wider stuff over at my parents', do we? In the lumberyard?
Well, we definitely do. It's a matter of if I want to use it for that. We have a decent amount of like teak planks that are already like this same thickness and probably like 12 inches wide. But I don't know if I necessarily want to cut a piece of teak for this, just for the drawer face, but.
Well, you'd see it. It's pretty. Getting down to the wire, won't be able to carry it around much longer. I think that's going to be the saddest part for Garrett. Not leaving the dock or leaving Napa, but that he can't carry as much wood as he's been able to carry for the last 6 years. He might also just load up the starboard quarter here or something like that with wood. I foresee that happening.
I'm just gonna turn the starboard quarter into a wood rack.
Yeah. Garrett has a wood hoarding problem, but I'd be wrong to say it hasn't come in handy. As the bulk of building Red Aviva is coming to a close, however, he's had to start using and thinning his collection. So here's our pattern, and we are not quite wide enough to get it out of this piece of cherry that we just got. And the only other wider stuff is way tucked under there. It's some locust. But Garrett's not sure if he wants to cut it from the locust.
Black locust is too good to cut for that.
But it is thinner stuff. What else would you be using that black locust for?
I had a thought to make our companionway drop boards out of it.
Oh. You have a few boards though, yeah? So we've been cutting this out. Probably still.
Go to Home Depot and get a wide piece of poplar.
He twisted my arm, and that's what we did. I guess I have a problem too. Poplar can have really unique greens and purples, even black features.
So I got a nice, pretty little piece of poplar. I think it'll look kind of cool with all the funky colored cherry and stuff. It's got a nice green strip through it, and then we should be able to get some of the kind of lighter color sapwood on either side. Should just give some fun little character, especially once it's oiled. So just gotta trace our pattern out.
Test fit.
Is a light okay down here?
Mm-hmm.
Fits.
Fits.
Yeah, that's the angle without making some changes to either the face of the drawer or putting a shim on the bottom.
So then now to decide to shim or not to shim. It's almost perfect.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
So we'll just glue that little shim onto the box. And then
Yeah,
glue and fasten the face onto the box drawer. So it got some weight on there, and the glue usually kicks, I think it says 30 minutes, but it doesn't usually take that long.
dries pretty quick.
But we got these cool, focus, we got these cool little latch handles for all of the hatches in the cabin sole. Once they're fully planked. Half of this one's done. And then we've got a couple extra, so we'll just put one in the face there. Alright, the moment you've all been waiting for, companionway stairs. And believe it or not, they found us. Our bunker neighbor salvaged it a year ago, and if it would work, it was ours for free.
Oh, that's solid.
Yeah, so it was the outside ladder, and so it looks like it was still used, so I grabbed it.
Cool.
In need of a little TLC, we took it home. Perfect fit. When I was taking a look at angles and stuff, my only thought was if it was behind that hatch, then you could still open that without moving the ladder at all. Look at that, like a real ladder. But it did feel, at that steep of an angle, it felt like pretty close to here.
Well, I mean, that's because it's...
Out so much further.
Yeah. That'll definitely change when this isn't here. And because right now you have to lean back because this is in your way.
Oh, okay. And you're thinking we'll have the hinges or something here?
Probably on here.
Oh, on here. Okay. Well, this is like a good height too to cutting it. Check it out. See, this is why we have not built companionway stairs up to this point, because who knew our bunker neighbor had this hidden in his thing. I didn't even know we knew the person that owned it.
Things seem
So that
to work
worked out
that way.
Yeah.
The other option is we could do it
A little steeper.
Well, no, not really, because the stairs.
The angle of them.
Yeah, that wouldn't really work out. Pretty darn close as it is. Right there.
Looks like we'll have to shim a leg or cut a leg to be even.
Do it with a 16th of an inch. We'll just go ahead and cut it here first, and then we'll kind of mock it in place, and then we'll figure out, because it's going to lean back a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. So cut it and then go from there?
Yeah.
Do you want help?
I think I got it. Ready?
You're ready, ready.
And I'm going to hold it so it doesn't...
Right here?
Just so it doesn't...
Okay. With a perfect 3-step ladder left over, who knows? Maybe we'll have a boarding ladder for swap now.
Oh, yeah.
How'd that feel?
That felt great. Yeah, I think that was the good way to do it for sure.
Nice. So now just to cut this leg, that mount.
I think I'm gonna shim it instead.
Oh?
Because there's just barely enough room to fit those brackets on this piece of wood.
Oh,
We thought about hinging the ladder, but we didn't have clearance with the engine box.
It is so close.
No go, especially since we have to shim that side.
But the width of the legs perfectly straddled one hatch on the floor and cleared the other, so there was really no benefit to changing out the brackets, as we could take out a few screws and remove the stairs completely if needed.
Yeah, nice handholds too.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. I'll probably just round these corners off a little bit.
Yeah.
That's been a long time coming. We've gotten used to it. It's not on the priority list for us, because we're the ones that, live on the boat and have sail on the boat. There's a lot of things
And have to build everything else.
and have to build everything else. There's
Still.
a lot of things that were much higher on the priority list than building companionway stairs. And I just thought it was kind of funny how many people were just completely flabbergasted that we hadn't built them yet. But these came to us, so it'll be nice to have.
Back over to the bunker, we started in on cleaning up the companionway stairs and shimming one leg.
It's all the way at the bottom of the ladder.
Looks like an ice cream treat. Ice cream sandwich.
Not gonna see it unless you really lean down there and look. Thanks again, man. Yeah.
There's something so satisfying about restoring and repurposing something, especially when it's so perfect for your need. To me, this is better than having built the stairs years ago. There's a story here. Red Aviva's name is derived from Latin meaning rebirth or revival, a new coming of life. This can be said about so many pieces in this boat, and about us. She's torn us down and lifted us up. We knew building a boat was going to be hard, but the personal growth would be worth it. Garrett gets back to the drawer face as I keep removing the old varnish.
No time for napping.
No. Get out of my way.
but